What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Cjthecheesedj here, and we are back with another SFO Grimhammer Battle Online. Now you can see here we are versing the Tomb Kings, and we are playing as the Dwarves. And you can see we've got quite an army built up here. Whereas our opponent, he spent a lot of his money on big warriors and big monsters. So you can see he's got a couple of Tomb Scorpions, a Chimerian Sphinx, I believe that one is, as well as the Necropolis Knights, and the Regiment of Renowned Nekara Warriors, as well as some Ustapis. Now you can see here that he has actually Vanguard deployed some Tomb Scorpions. We weren't aware of this at the time, but we're going to quickly go over our army. So at the front, we've got the Dragon Slayers, legendary unit, damage dealer, area attacks, and they have the Death Blow, which is great. Now we also have two groups of miners with blasting charges, just to try to soften up the Nekara Warriors. We then do have three groups of Thunderers, so one on the side here, one over there, and one at the back. We then have the Longbeards with great weapons, and I believe we've got three of those, or two? We do have three of them, because there's another one over here. And then we have the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, as well as another group of miners with blasting charges back here. For our artillery, we've got an organ gun, we have a bolt thrower, and another organ gun. So we're just going to be popping off on the Scorpions, because they pretty much just deployed straight out the front, and we were like, oh crap, we need to get onto this. We also have Thorgrim Grudgebearer, as well as the Master Engineer. Now, the reason we brought the Master Engineer is to resupply anything that needed resupplying, as well as to buff our range units. You can see here the Thunderers are popping off on the Tomb Scorpion, just trying to deal tons of damage. These guys do have armor-piercing missiles, and they are armored, and you can see already one Tomb Scorpion just about down to half health. So we weren't worried too much about that one. This is the one we were worried about. Our Thunderers were coming into the range of fire. I don't know why I moved these ones instead of these ones over. It was a misplay by me, but you can see here the Tomb Scorpion does manage to get into the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. We pop the miners with the blasting charges, which in hindsight was a really bad idea because it is friendly fire as well. And you can see my opponent slowly moves the rest of his forces up. He has High Queen Khalida on a not Tomb Scorpion. I can't remember what they're actually called. What are they called? Necropolis? No, they're not called Necropolis. I can't remember. On the Snake. It's on the Snake. Two groups of Ustapis, a bunch of Nehekara warriors, and a Lich Priest with the Nehekara. And it was the Chimerian War Sphinx. So you can see we're just kind of trying to keep our formation tight. Our opponent's coming towards us. We don't need to worry too much. We then do decide to start moving the units out. We've managed to move our Thunderers back, and our great weapons with the Longbeards are in fight with the Tomb Scorpion, and we turn around our Thunderers to pop into the Necropolis Knights. Minus with blasting charges, just try to hold back the forces. I don't really expect them to do much, and we move our Dragon Slayers straight into the fray. These guys are just going to tear through everything with their area attacks and death blow. It will work really well, and you can see here the miners with blasting charges do quite a bit of damage against these guys. So the Kepra Guard are going to fight our Longbeards with great weapons, and the Chimerian War Sphinx is coming in. We then notice that the Skeleton Archer chariots are over here, so we turn our Thunderers around to pop off into them, and we do buff them up with the entrenchment as well, which provides them with 50% armor piercing explosion and physical resistance, as well as missile damage. And we then send our Slayers, which are anti-large, up against these chariots because they can shut them down pretty quickly. We then also move those guys over to the Chimerian War Sphinx, and you can already see some of these Nehekara warriors are already fleeing. The Ustapi have pretty much torn through our miners. You can see here they're routing. No biggie, we were expecting to lose them. Surprisingly though, our artillery has managed to stay online this so far. Like, I was not expecting it to stay online, but you can see here he brings his Chimerian War Sphinx straight into it. Now this thing is going to take our infantry, our artillery out, especially with the Tomb Scorpions, so there's not really much we can do here. They have kind of just broken into our backline. Still got some Thunderers popping over here, which our opponent failed to get, and we have pretty much taken out High Queen Khalida. You can see that she's only on 1,000 health, so she's taking quite a bit of damage, which is great. And other than that, our forces are doing pretty good. We're winning the infantry fight. You can see here our Slayers are shutting down the Necropolis Knights, any large units that he has brought into the fray. Warriors of Dragonfire Pass are just flaying through these Nehekara warriors, and these Dragon Slayers have 112 kills. They are killing it. Now Thorgrim is going into battle as well. You can see there Queen Khalida dies, which is a bit of a shame, but, well, I mean, not for us because we're winning. But the reason we brought Thorgrim for is because he has the map-wide buff that provides all your units with a little bit of extra, what's it called, buff. Where is it? Hiking, there you go. You can see 10% weapon damage, 10 melee attack, and 10 leadership, and they are all immune to psychology, while he's above 50% health. So that is a huge buff for Thorgrim and the Dwarven forces, but you can see here my opponent is popping off a bit of Winds of Magic, not too much of a big deal. Our Master Engineer is chasing after these Ustapi to try and stop them from killing our Thunderers, although there's not really much left. This Tomb Scorpion is surprisingly still alive, but we do pop Thorgrim's Ancestral Shield Bearers, and they come into the fray, and they're just going to shut down this Scorpion ASAP. But you can see there's not much left of my opponent's forces. The main big thing is the War Sphinx, the Lich Priest, as well as the Ustapi. Now you can see he does see our Thunderers are back online, and heads over there to pretty much shut them down, and the Thunderers aren't going to do too much against the Ustapi, especially in melee. We do send our Longbeards over there though to try and help out. The Miners are just kind of recouping, we kind of forgot about them. But we do pop, what do we pop over here? Oh, that's actually our opponent, the Soul Vortex I believe it's called. Pops off, that'll shut down anything left of our artillery. And luckily for us it does go this way instead of right, which would have made a big difference. But you can see here we've still got a full unit health of Ancestral Shield Bearers. And the summons, they stay in for the whole fight unless they die of health loss. We then also have that half health of Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, and they're just fighting. Technically, they probably shouldn't have been fighting with Tomb Scorpions because it's not infantry. They should have really been going after the Hekara Warriors. But these Dragon Slayers, they are killing it. Look at that. 163 kills. These guys are absolute machines, and they just destroy pretty much everything. So that's great. Now you can see here that my opponent his forces are pretty much starting to disintegrate. He does have army losses. Things aren't looking good. His War Sphinx is slowly losing health. Surprisingly enough though, his Ustapi don't disintegrate straight away, which kind of makes sense since they are fighting against the smaller forces of the Longbeards. But you can see here we've got Miners popping off blasting charges, but he does summon in another unit of Ustapi behind us. These Thunderers are busy popping off on these Ustapis over here, so we negate to see them, but they are slowly moving over, but I think we realize that they are there, so we try to get our Thunderers away. But you can see these Ustapis, they are ready to just pounce on these guys. And like they had no chance, our poor Thunderers. But we have literally a whole army. Our leader is still on full health. This tiny group of Ustapi, it's pretty much over for my opponent. But we do duke it out. These guys putting up a fight, trying to rack up the kills. They're at 83. Got to give him credits for where it's due. Our poor Thunderers are in battle with their axes. At this stage, we're kind of like, let's just stand here and watch them try to kill the Ustapi. We thought it'd be a little bit of a funny thing, but these Ustapi, they're just packing a punch. They're just walloping on our poor Thunderers. Up to 92 kills. They're still disintegrating. They're just taking their sweet time disintegrating, which is a bit of a shame, but like, we've still got our Master Engineer full health. Everything's pretty much set. There's no way for our opponent to come back from here. Ustapi are slowly disintegrating. We even send in the artillery teams to just try and fight these out. These little guys with their little axes, no guns behind them. The Miners coming in. Everyone's just piling in on these Ustapis. And I'm pretty sure we even send Thorgrim in. But like, that's it. That's enough. And you can see there, one just collapses under his massive weight. And you can see there, that's pretty much it for my opponent. So another one here that we won successfully, which is a bit of a surprise. We don't normally win these ones. But yeah, it was really good. I think our MVPs of this match were definitely, hands down, these Dragon Slayers. They absolutely demolished my opponent. As well as that, the Thunderers, they don't look like they got many kills, but they actually emptied a lot of their shots into the High Queen Khalida. So I think that's why they don't have many kills, because we did have two groups flanking on each side. But other than that, our Miners didn't really do too much. They were just the chaff that was trying to block, so our artillery pieces could pop off. Longbeards did great, Slayers did great, Warriors of Dragonfire Pass did great. All in all, we ended up winning. That's what mattered. So guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe down below for more. But other than that, I will catch you in the next one.